So I made a video about mixed reality where I got a ton of questions on it and had a tweet breach containment about it, so it's tutorial time on using the app Virtual Face. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Virtual Face is an app that allows you to put a 3D VTuber model over your head and record video in real time using it. If you want to stream but not be held back by the limits of a hand cam, so you can dance, play instruments, hold your cat, crochet, and more, this might be a good solution for that. I was also thinking about this when I was seeing all the VTubers at TwitchCon a couple weeks ago posting emojis over their faces. With this, they could just use their model with a cute expression instead and have it be more like expressive of them. You know, more in character. Cool, right? So let's get started here. In order to use Virtual Face, you are gonna need two things. First, you do sadly need an iPhone 11 or newer, or an iPad that has facial unlock abilities. Right now, this is because face tracking technology relies on infrared and sometimes LiDAR technology, and sadly older iPhones and Androids just don't have these features. Also, second, you need a 3D model that's in VRM format. If you don't have one, you can make one pretty quickly using a program like Vroid, or kit bash one together using parts from Gumroad or Booth or other places you can buy 3D model parts. Also, as a fun little side note, I'm also doing a giveaway related to this. It's partially as a thank you for hitting 5K subscribers, because I'm very, very thankful for that. And also because I'd like to do something nice for the community. So if you leave a comment on what you want to use Virtual Face to do, I'll pick a random commenter in a month to make a free 3D modeled head for so that you can use the app. And you know, maybe if this video gets like 1,500 likes, I'll pick a second person too. Maybe up the odds there a little bit. So good luck. But now that we've got the parts we need, we can get started. First, you'll need to upload your VRM file to Google Drive or another site you can use to transfer files from a computer to a phone. This will probably take a hot second to upload, so in the meantime, let's download Virtual Face. You can search it up in the App Store, or you can click the link I have for it in the description below. I've heard that some people have a little bit of trouble finding it, so we'll save the trouble, it's down there. Then, once you have it installed and your VRM has finished uploading to your drive or wherever you've put it, find it on your phone, and we're gonna click the little meatball menu to the right of the file name, and yeah, that is what graphic designers call the three little dots. Meatballs. Then we're gonna scroll down to the options it gives us and select Open In. Pop-up saying preparing to export should come up, and we'll wait for it to do its little thinking thing, and it'll give us more options. So then we'll click Save to Files. You should now see a folder labeled Virtual Face on the main page of On My iPhone. Click on it, then click on the folder inside of it labeled VRM, and hit the blue Save button in the upper right corner. And your model is now able to be accessed by the app. Woo, we did it. So next, we'll open the Virtual Face app. I can't show you these next steps outside of screenshots because while the app is really good at protecting your privacy, it only slips off if you're messing with the settings and loading new avatars in, and that's what I'm about to do right now, so I'll come back in a second. So a default avatar will probably load in first here, so select the cog button, and you should now see all of your avatar options. If you hit the refresh button to the left of the avatar you want to select, this should load yours in. Models with a high poly count or a lot of hair bones will load in kind of slowly, and I've already seen people who are like crashing the app because they have so much going on the head of their model, and I'm so sorry, you may have to pare it down for that, but mine loaded in okay. Next, we're gonna fit your model's head to your real body a little better to kind of tone down as much of the uncanny valley as we can here. So we're gonna hit the blue arrow that goes to the right, and you'll see some options for changing the head size and placement. First, we're gonna change the scale offset, which changes the size of the head. Then after that, we can change the others in any order. I'd suggest setting the head size to like just larger than your real head. You could go a bit larger than that, but it could start to feel really uncanny if you do. And I say this as if this whole ordeal isn't at least like a little uncanny. Height offset moves the model's head up and down. Move the head so the bottom of your chin is like just covered. And if you tilt your head up, you shouldn't see it at all either. Depth offset moves the model's head further forward and backwards. You can test this by turning your head left and right and finding a depth that feels natural. So that way your neck doesn't feel like it's too far back in your model's head or too far forward. Angle offset changes the vertical tilt of the head, and you can usually leave this at 0. I didn't need to change it, and unless your model is for some reason looking up in its T-pose, you shouldn't need to. And finally, if you have ARKit face tracking, make sure to check the box for it under the facial type heading, because this app does a pretty good job with it, and it looks pretty nice. So we're gonna hit that blue arrow to the right again, and you'll see some options on camera settings now. And we don't really need to mess with most of this right now, but there is one really important box here. Make sure that the box next to hide real face is ticked, please. This is what protects you from an accidental face reveal if tracking is lost. Messing around with the settings does not make the app lose face tracking though, so still make sure you have everything set before going live or recording using this. But I kind of do some crazy movements with it to test, and it worked like perfectly. I never revealed my face. So next we're gonna hit that little blue arrow to the right again, and you'll see some options on neck settings. We'll check the boxes next to neck mask and debug. You'll now have a gap in the back of your model's hair for your neck with a blue box over it, so that works pretty nice. Get rid of all that hair that was in front of your shoulders, probably. Neck height determines how high up the back of your model's head will be masked out. Neck depth determines how far back in space the neck mask should include. If you turn your head to the side again, you can check and see if it's set right. Neck size then determines how wide the neck mask is. And when you're happy with it, uncheck the box for debug to make the blue square go away. That debug thing just makes it a little easier to see where the border is because I had a little trouble figuring it out. Hit the blue arrow to the right again and you'll see the effect settings. We can use these to help kind of make your model match your environment better. Technically, this is optional, but it can give you better looking results, so I would really recommend trying it out. Kind of marries your model to your environment better. So light angle only applies if your model reacts to light, mine doesn't. But if yours does, you can set it to match the main light direction of your surroundings, and that will help a lot with blending you into kind of what's going on around you. Light intensity changes how bright your model is. Match it to the light level of your environment, and one way you can do this is by matching the darkness of the whites of your eyes to the darkness of a white object in your environment. I feel like that is probably one of the best benchmarks that most of us will have, because that is usually almost a true white color that we all will have. Light color will change the tint of your model. You can make your model warmer or cooler in tone to match the lighting of your surroundings. Don't go too crazy though. But this can help kind of marry you to that background better too. And the other options are all stylistic. It can be grayscale or sepia or have a drawn filter or other things, but they aren't really necessary. But that's it. Virtual Face is now all set up. I do have a couple of final notes on using it though. First, and most importantly, I said it before and I'll say it again, set all of your adjustment settings before you start recording or going live. The app is really good at hiding your face if it loses tracking, but moving the neck and head settings around isn't losing tracking as far as the app is concerned. So you could accidentally reveal parts of your face because it can stutter when you're doing these things. Second, if you don't like the contrast between your model's skin tone and your neck, a turtleneck works really well to negate it. So that's why I have one on for these recordings I've done for this video. If you want to hide the user interface, all these little buttons down here, you can tap the UI button. Don't forget to do it if you're trying to record something like I kept forgetting. It also seems like you can probably use Virtual Face to send ARKit data to a program like VCFace or Vignon using the OSC sender options. So if you haven't bought a program like iFacial Mocap to do that for you already, this could be a good option for that, perhaps. Would take some playing around with though, I haven't tried it. And finally, there are a bunch of options you can use to stream your iPhone screen directly to your computer or into OBS so you can use this live. And while I won't get into all that right now, you can also just use your phone's screen recording function to take videos, which is what I did for this. Works pretty well. So overall, pretty cool, right? Sadly, on one hand, the dev has ceased working on this app and moved on to other projects, but at the same time, the app works pretty dang well as is. I don't have many complaints. And that also doesn't mean that the app itself is dead, as with most things, if there's enough interest, the dev may return. Heck, it happened recently with vMagic Mirror, which hadn't been updated in years. So if enough of us are using Virtual Face and making some noise about it, who knows, they might come back. So I hope everyone's able to find some new and innovative ways to use this technology. And if there's any other cool VTuber tech out there that you haven't really heard anyone talking about would like me to look into, let me know, I love that stuff. So I'll be eagerly awaiting seeing the comments of y'all's plans for your little entries to the giveaway, and I'll announce the winner of the 3D head giveaway, or I guess 2 winners if we hit 1,500 likes. Around the end of November, so good luck everybody. So I hope this got some wheels turning for you, and I'll see y'all later. Farewell.